As a leader in your organization, I want to ask you a question. If I choose 5 people from across your business, how similar would their answers be if I were to ask, what is your strategy? Now, if someone says, good question, or let me think about it, or let me open my laptop, there isn't a strategy. Why? Because what your executive team thinks is strategy has merely become a suggested direction. Strategy is something people should lead by, not merely know about or memorize. But according to research published in the Harvard Business Review, 95% of employees do not understand their organization's strategy, and that includes the management team. And this raises a second question. Is strategy really that important at all? When you consider research from Accenture that says 7 out of 8 companies fail to achieve profitable growth, even though 90% have very detailed strategies, think about it. So much emphasis is put on strategy. What about the reality that 90% of transformations fail due to poor execution? Strategy is not important. It's critical if done right. But what does strategy done right actually mean? Primarily, strategy needs to define a clear purpose and a meaningful direction. For example, why does your company exist? Who do you serve? How are you different? What do you need to achieve? Why should people care? For most leaders answering these questions, well, is the strategy. But in our experience, it's only one of 4 pillars of a strategy done well. The second pillar is about how your strategy helps people make the right decisions. And therein lies the misconception. Most strategies don't fail because of one major decision that went wrong. They don't fail because of one massive strategic mistake, but rather the result of many poor decisions made over time by people who didn't think through the strategic impact of their effort. An actionable strategy helps every person in the company make better decisions in the moment, because doing the right things is always more important than getting things done. And this leads us to the third pillar, accountability. If your culture values busy people who may do things well but does not hold them accountable to doing the right things, you'll lose before you start. People are more loyal to culture than strategy. And as a result, their behaviors and decisions will be driven by the assumptions of what management values, not by the documented strategy. As Peter Drucker once said, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And unless you develop a culture of accountability, your ability to execute is nothing more than an aspiration or a vision. In today's fast-moving digital world, establishing accountable culture means consistent communication. Which brings us to the last pillar, cadence, the rhythm of execution. How do you expect to execute your company's strategy when 85% of managers spend less than 2 hours a month on strategic issues? If strategy is important, and we know it's critical to your executive team, that strategy must be discussed, developed, and reinforced through a structured cadence with the people involved. Remember, people only respect what you inspect. Strategy helps you to define a clear purpose that galvanizes people to make the right decisions in the moment and holds them accountable through a consistent execution cadence. That's strategy done right.